Cheers, guys. Epic's 911 Game Friday, September 29th, 2017 edition of VR News as well. But this is Game Friday. I've been playing a non-VR game. Yes, I have. Divinity 2, guys, has me by the short and curlies. What can I say? It's awesome. It is probably one of the best RPGs I played, and I played a hell of a lot of RPGs going back to Wizardry and Ultima a long time, and Divinity 2 is just that good. The Renaissance, Brian Fargo, turn-based RPGs are definitely back. Does this mean I'm out of VR games? No. With that said, it's Game Friday, and one of the things I always tell people when they ask me about Game Friday, what are the rules? And my answer is there are no rules. Game Friday is exactly that. So Divinity 2, in my books, it's okay. But with that said, we're here for VR and VR news. So let's jump into the first story. Star Rage, billing itself as a story-driven FPS. It is the first title from developer Metaverse, and it's going to be launching for Rift and Vive very soon, $19.99 US, with a PlayStation VR version promised shortly thereafter. In the game, you're doing battle on distant planets with the aliens that are inhabiting those worlds. You play as one of a team called Pathfinders, kind of a science fiction ranger network. You're looking for new worlds to colonize, with your mission changing to finding your teammates that have gone missing. In the video, you can see quite a bit of the gunfighting action. There's a lot of that, dual wielding especially. Unreal 4, the engine that is being used, and as a result, the graphics look pretty good, particularly the War of the Worlds style towering robot and rock magma boss fights. Those look really good. The environments, which really, that's one of the strengths of the Unreal 4 engine, is environments. However, in this game, seem to focus on canyon-style environments for the most part. Haven't seen any kind of a water world or foliage in the form of trees and plants, just a lot of canyon. It would have been nice to see a little bit of that mixed in. Now, not to say it doesn't exist, you just don't see any in the trailer. So we'll wait for the release to check out if that exists. Next up, Varjo Technologies, a Helsinki-based startup known for its human eye resolution display, which they hope to ship in VR headsets, today announcing that they closed an $8.2 million Series A funding round. We last looked at this company on the June 19th episode, from the 7-minute, 32-second mark to roughly about the 10-minute mark. How the technology works is it uses something similar to foveated rendering, and I get into that in that previous episode. I won't retread all of that here, so if you want to get more on how it works, you can check out that episode. Now, back in June, they were using a pair of Sony micro OLED displays measuring about 0.7 inches diagonally. What set those apart is they boasted a 3,000 pixels per inch. Compare that to the Rift and Vive, they are at about 447 to 461 pixels per inch. But again, keep in mind this is using a foveated rendering technique, albeit via hardware. Chief complaint at the time was that the field of view wasn't wide enough, but they are now said to be offering a 100-degree field of view, which puts them just shy of the Rift and the Vive's 110-degree field of view. Varjo calls their prototype 2020, saying that it's specifically designed for professional users and with resolutions more than 70 times beyond any currently shipping or announced head-mounted display. CEO and founder of Varjo, Urho Kontori, stating the following: Varjo is fast-growing from a startup to a best-in-class global supplier of VR, AR headsets. We are now moving past research into the development stage and are so glad to achieve this in collaboration with EQ2 Ventures. We clicked the moment we met with them. The team literally started on a go-to-market strategy during our first meeting. With EQ2 Ventures, we not only have a VC, but a true partner in growth. The company is saying Varjo branded virtual reality, augmented, and mixed reality products will begin shipping to professional users in late fourth quarter of this year. And our next story, we haven't seen a ton of releases from Vive Studios for Viveport, but here is Jam Studio VR. Developed by Beams Interactive, Jam Studio VR is an interactive music creation experience designed to be accessible to all. It allows you to pick a variety of instruments and play them as if you had already mastered them. Guitars, for example, you can play like a rock god without ever having to learn a single note. Now, I'm usually pretty wary about these types of programs, and if it sounds like I am here, yes, I am. I would rather recommend somebody use something like Rocksmith, where you're using an actual instrument, than something like Guitar Hero, but that's me. If you're not into it to actually learn the instrument, you just want to pretend, this is one of those ways to achieve exactly that. The tracks you record can be saved and listened back to. Beams also offering therapeutic and learning experiences that allow you to relax as you experiment with the different sounds. Currently, the app contains over 20 songs for you to play along to. Would have loved to have seen a little bit more jazz, blues, and metal in the mix, but they advertise Miley Cyrus, Jonas Brothers, so there you go. And our last story, Google Blocks 2.0 update released, offering a bunch of fixes and some features. Among the features, export formats added to the list. For example, you've got triangulated .obj and .fbx now supported, easier to grab reference images, and the app also remembers which is your dominant hand and will automatically revert to the paintbrush tool whenever you select a new color. Those, along with, like I said before, a bunch of bug fixes. You can check out the full list via Steam. I've got the link in the description below. Well, guys, that is it for the Game and Friday edition of VR News. Hope you guys have a kick-arse Game and Friday. Seriously, get your gaming on. It is the best night of the week for that, and have a fantastic weekend. As always, guys, cheers.